Hello everyone. Currently having an argument with the 11-year-old as to why I'm insta-living from in here and why I can't go in the other room and why she can't go in the other room. So it's going well so far. It's a good evening. I hope you're all having a really good evening. I watched Ali Bailey do a live the other day and she was really good. She was much better than I was. She's very chilled on her Insta Live, so I'm going to try and not to ramble quite so much. Might be a bit tricky. Anyway, hello people joining. I wanted to share my tree with you. My daughter's about to do an audition for Narnia. That's her school play this year. So I'm just getting into role and just giving a message to the school that obviously we want the lead role. Should we go very Motherland on this? Have you watched Motherland? I love Motherland. So yeah, getting into role because Matilda really needs to have the lead in the school play. Actually, she wants to have a fighting scene, or she wants to be Mr. Tumnus. So, and mother out there who's had their daughter's hair cut so she looks like Lucy, we know who you are. Don't try and pretend otherwise. Actually, she's my best friend, so we'll let her get away with that. And I don't think her daughter wants to be Lucy in Narnia at all, but it looks a bit like that. So how's your day been today? Has it been a good day? I hope you've had a good day. I don't think people ask us enough about how our day has been, do you? So I hope that you've had a really good day today. Occasionally, oh, hi, Ellen. And occasionally I'm going to look down and tell you. I was just saying, Ellen, that I'm getting into role for the school play, Narnia. We're going for the lead role. And yes, I'm just giving a message to the school that the lead role will be ours. Nobody else is. Although Tills doesn't want the lead role, she wants to be in a fighting scene. Oh my goodness, you know school stories. I'm going to share a school story with you because I think this is quite a funny one. You know the stories you come back with from school when you're a kid are the best stories ever and they stay with you for life. So today at school, the girls are playing badminton and they're having to put the badminton nets away, and the teachers have shown them how to put the badminton nets away. So my daughter and her mate go, shall we get caught up in the badminton nets? So they get to either end and they roll so they meet in the middle. Neither of them can stand up. They can't bend their knees. They're laughing. They fall over. They fall over with a massive splat. Just as some people who are visiting the school walk into the gym and there's this introduction. Oh, these are our year sixes playing playing badminton, whilst two of them are rolling around on the floor, tied up in the nets. Needless to say, they got a bit of a telling off for that. And I do feel sorry for teachers. I mean, I can imagine there's plenty of people like me out there who are teachers, and kids like that must be so annoying. Hello. But I would like to say you do a great public service because you give people like me a little laugh at the end of the day, and you create memories for people. I mean, she will never forget that. She will never forget rolling in a badminton net on the floor with her mate, unable to walk, unable to move her arms, and getting a bollocking shortly afterwards for doing things that she's not meant to do. So thank you for that. I think that's amazing. And the other thing that I noticed, and this is a bit of a sad story, but it just shows the impact of teachers, because I think they get a bit of a hard time sometimes, especially when they're teaching my kids. Oh, she did say to me, Mum, I knew you wouldn't mind too much. I knew you wouldn't tell me off because I wasn't endangering life. Yeah, just the teacher's mental state, bless her. But so I grew up next door to a teacher who taught at the secondary school that I went to, and although he died slightly before I went to the secondary school, that's not the point. There's still a Facebook group from the secondary school that I went to, because the school that I went to got knocked down shortly after I left. It was closed and knocked down. Nothing to do with me, actually. It was a state comprehensive, and they decided there wasn't enough money for it. So they, and yes, thanks, Ellen. She's definitely lead role material girl, is Matilda, probably in a badminton net whilst in Narnia. So there's still a Facebook group going now, and somebody posted about this. My next door neighbour, Mr. Park, if anybody knew him, he died in 1981, and people are still talking about his teaching and his teaching methods and how he inspired so many kids who kind of came from backgrounds that probably weren't really going to lead them anywhere, and he gave them self-belief and he motivated them and he shouted at them a lot, because I can remember him shouting, and he died when I was 11 and I remember him shouting still. I was absolutely scared to death of him, but he was kind of a Yorkshire man and he was very down to earth and he said it as it was, and he inspired loads of kids. So that's my little shout out for teachers today. Hi Karen, thank you for joining. So yeah, my little shout out for teachers. And if people are wondering why I'm surrounded by a Narnia tree, as I've said, my daughter's about to try out for Narnia in the school play, or trying out for a role in the school play. So true Narnia style, I'm getting into a Motherland type role. We would like the main lead, please. I might have to go and do makeup, and I'm not very good at doing makeup. Anyway, half term. How was your half term? So I saw you all this time last week, just after the sad demise of Biscuit the hamster, which was a very sad day. Biscuit's now been replaced by Cashew, so that's okay, and we had the funeral. The week got a little bit worse after that because, sorry Tills, I know, okay, I won't talk about Biscuit anymore, but we have got Cashew now. She's not been replaced, she hasn't been replaced. We just have another hamster in the cage. The week got a little bit worse after that because, well, it was great because I went away to Yorkshire and did a photo shoot, and but whilst I was away, Tills, the 11-year-old, was poorly, and then when I came back, Freddie, the 17-year-old, was poorly, and then he gave it to me as well. So we've all been a little bit under the weather. But I wanted to talk to you about the makeup that I was advised to get by the makeup artist that I was working with on this shoot for Damart up in Yorkshire. She was amazing. Colette, her name was Colette. I did find out her name earlier and I've forgotten it again, so I'm really sorry if you're watching. Let me know your name. So some of the products, because I love working with makeup artists and I always chat to them. They always have really, really good stories about people they've worked with and locations that they've been on. Hello, just talking about makeup here. Makeup artists always got great stories, people that they've worked with, magazine shoots that they've done, photo shoots that they've done, people that they've worked with, slightly dodgy places that they might have been. But I always talk to them about makeup. And there were two makeup artists, and interesting, independently, when I was asking them for their recommendations, they were both saying the same things, which I always take to be a really, really good sign. So the one thing that I was really interested in was foundation. And I'm pretty sure I remember when this first came out a few years ago and I tried it. And I'm not sure I was overly fussed at the time, but I think since then, it's probably better for my skin now than it was then. So foundation, the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Foundation. So this is the one that they recommended for me. And they use it on everybody. They had loads and loads of different colours in their makeup bags, because that's the other good thing about it. It does come in a really, really wide range of colours, from really light, like my eldest daughter's got the lightest skin that you'll ever see, to really, really dark shades as well, which is great. And they even do half shades in between. So I think I'm a 4.5. So this is the kind of bottle that it comes in, and it just gives a really, as you would imagine from the name, a luminous silk foundation, just a really nice light coverage. I'm wearing it at the moment, but I have got, hello everyone, I have got a little filter on, just the subtle filter, so I'm not quite so scary for all of you. So the luminous silk foundation, I went and bought that, and I've been using that ever since, and I'm really, really pleased with it. Now, it's not like me to go into town. I did a bit of a whiz around Selfridges. It's not like me to spend money on makeup at all. But when it's recommended to me, I'm like, right, this is what I'm going to do. The other thing that they said that I should put on my skin before I put that on, so doing this in a really sensible order, of course, is the NARS Radiance Primer. What the lady said to me, who I was working with, the makeup artist, haven't had a chance to open this yet, actually, because, as I said, since I bought this, which was on Sunday morning, I got poorly, so I haven't really done that much with makeup other than my Luminous Silk Foundation. They said the older you get, it is all about the making the base really, really good. And then if you don't want to spend as much money on things like the eyeshadows and the lipsticks, that's not so important, but have really good moisturiser, have really good primers, have really good foundation, have good concealer, so that you get a really flawless looking base. And then on top of that, it doesn't matter quite so much about what you spend on things. Hello everybody who's joining. So this is the NARS Radiance Primer. You can see, I can't really read that very well. NARS Radiance Primer. So that was the other thing that they really recommended. Both of these makeup artists recommended that to me independently of one another, which I thought was really good, as well as the Armani Luminous Silk Foundation. Just for anybody who's joining, these are the two products that were recommended to me by makeup artists as being really, really good ones to use. So those two. Then we had a little chat. About, so I didn't do too much on concealers because I've got some nice Bobbi Brown concealers that I like actually. But we were talking about sculpting, or what does everybody call it? I can't even remember now. You're gonna have to help me out. Everybody's done it. Contouring, that's it. Contouring. And the makeup artist was saying, we've been doing contouring for years. I don't know why it's such a thing. And I remember when I went to school when I was 15, both me and my mate Charlotte, we had one of these. We had like a little palette. I'm sure it was Rimmel. We probably bought it from our local chemist. And there were... Very funny, Ellen. Need to put it on with a trowel, do Selfridges, do a garden centre version. Maybe we can go and have a look together. That'd be quite a good trip out, wouldn't it? We bought makeup together. few years ago. I remember doing that with you. So there were these 3 in a little palette, and there was the one that you put underneath, and then the one on top, and then the highlighter on top. So even when I was 15, I was doing all that, and then I just completely lost the plot and didn't bother anymore. And I had one in this really nice browns kind of shade, and one in a really nice pinky shade. So so it's been around for ages. And hello, influencing my 40s. Tell me your name again. Debbie. I'm rubbish with names. I can remember some Insta names but not people's real names, and I can remember some real names but not Insta names, and if they stand in front of me, can't remember anything. Hopeless. My brain just does not compute. So anyway, this is what you need, Debbie. Ellen, that's not the last time you went with your daughter, I'm sure. This is called a Chubby Stick, which is very appropriate in this house because we had a fish called Chubby. Matilda's laughing. This is Clinique. Both the girls used the Chubby Stick. And it comes in one colour, which was great for me because I couldn't go and get confused and bamboozled when they, hello Debbie, I got that right, that was lucky. No, I do know your name really, I'm just a bit rubbish. This Chubby Stick, and what they said to me was, where you need to put it on, if I do it on here, I might practice some other place. If I do it on here now, I'll just look like I've put mud on my face and no one will go and buy it, but it works really well. So what you do is you kind of find the bone and you put it on just in the hollow and then blend up, because if you blend down, you shorten your face this bit here. Sorry, you've all got to stare at my face. So yeah, put it there and then just blend up a little bit and don't bring it too far forwards. So just kind of in this little bit here. So I would go to Clinique and ask them to pop it on. So it is just this one colour, and you can either put it direct, you can draw it on in like a line and blend it, or you can put it on your hand and then blend it in with a brush. But I've got high hopes for this, so I'll let you know how I get on with it. If you see me walking around, if you see me appearing, hello everybody, on Instagram with big mud-coloured stripes down either side of my face, do feel free to tell me. I won't mind at all. Okay, and then we were talking, oh golly, I've done funny things with my hair now, look at that. And then we were talking about blusher. And interestingly, the blusher that they both really swore by was from the Body Shop. Hi Liv, hello everybody else. And this is a really cheapy one. It's only coming in a couple of colours now, so I think maybe when the girls bought it there were a few more colours, but they've discontinued some of them. Nice message, Debbie. You used the Trini one, you look like you had sideburns. You see, now when I put it on, I'm going to laugh and I am going to end up with sideburns. And Ellen, you've just found one in the bottom of your bag that you bought with me 2 years ago. Are we talking about foundation or are we talking about Chubby Sticks now? Did we do Chubby Sticks together? Can't remember that. So anyway, this is the blusher and it's from Body Shop and it's a tint. I think you can use it on your lips as well. It's a lip and cheek tint. And again, I think you can put this on the back of your hand and just kind of blend it in like that, or you can do it straight. This has got like a little stick in it. I haven't actually opened this again because, as I said, it was a little bit poorly. That's got a little sticky thing in it. Oh look, that makes it look like a moustache. I have one of my own. I don't need a red one. And the place to put that, they said, is not to come any further forward than the centre of your eye, or else it's too Miss Sally-ish, which I know I'm guilty of because I look at myself and go, oh, you haven't got any colour on, and then I put some more on and then I look a bit like a clown. So no further forward and just on the little chubby bit there. So there, and then back up there. And then I sometimes use like a little bit of highlighter on the top just to make it look as if I have a glow. And then the other thing that they mentioned, which I didn't get because they'd sold out, was the Chanel bronzer, which I quite fancy trying. Hello everybody, because it makes it look, it gives you a bit of colour, like you've got a nice little bit of a suntan. And then you just put that on the bits where the sun first hits your face. And I kept saying to my makeup artist, I don't understand where that's going to be. And they're like, well, on the tops of your cheeks, on your nose, and then you do that 3 thing, don't you? Kind of going the reverse 3, down either side of your face, and on your chin there, and there. You're getting hot chocolate. Oh, she knows there's nothing I can do when I'm on this, so she can get away with doing whatever she likes. Anyway, and also, and following on from when I did the Insta post a couple of weeks ago about mascara. So that was my other thing. I thought I'm just going to go and buy some mascaras and do a little bit of investigation. So the girls that I was working with really liked the Lancome Hypnose mascara, and I went to the counter and they said that's really, really good, but try this one instead, the Grandiose Extreme. So big Extreme mascara, which again, because I've been poorly since I bought it, I haven't yet tried. But this is don't know why that's a mascara bottle exactly. It's a little bit full on, isn't it? So I'm going to try that.